Welcome everybody to Copycat Chef. I'm your host Jason Catalano, and on this channel we look to be your cooking, baking, and beverage guide for the busy bodybuilder. And for today we have a beer review of Gordon Biersch's Blonde Bock. So just to give you a bit of an overview of this beer, it comes from San Jose, California, my hometown. It's where I live. This is kind of the beer that's probably one of the better craft beers in the area. They're mostly known as a brewing company for being German, like classic German styles. They try and steer as close as they can to replicating that versus more the American style, which is to go like different crazy flavors and stuff. So it's kind of mostly trying to replicate the German style. For this one particularly, this is a Maibock, which just means that it's got a little more hops to it, which is more of a classic American style. It's a little bit less of a malty type of traditional bock. So think a little bit less malt, which bocks are really high in malt, and it's got a little more hops, which try and balance it out. It's got 7% alcohol by volume, and it comes in I think roughly around 200 calories. So it's pretty full type of beer. For this one, you can get a 6-pack at Total Wine for $7.49, so it's pretty reasonably priced. This isn't a craft beer. It's pretty reasonably priced that way. And I'd say the purpose of this beer is that it's a hoppier, less malt of a basic bock. So more hops, less malt, but a basic bock nonetheless. So with that, it's got 23 IBUs by the way, so it does have that little bit extra bitterness. Perfect. So as you can see on the pour, it's got an okay head, not too much. Very, very high carbonation, see-through, very, very light straw color. Definitely a light version. You'd think of this as like a Pilsner style in terms of the color. You can see right through it, and that's because they actually do use a Pilsner style grain on this. Yeah, you can definitely smell kind of that pure fresh Pilsner on the nose, which is not what you expect from a Maibock, but it tastes like something I would expect kind of out of Germany, a little more carbonated, but not bad. You can definitely tell it's not as malty. It's definitely not as malty. The hops a little bit hidden on the nose. So with that, giddy up. Yeah, it's definitely a very, very pleasant drink. Hops a little bit at the end there, which is nice a little warm. It's definitely a different style of bock. Normally you think of bock beer is a little bit darker, more malt, sweet, really zero type of hops. But this is actually kind of an interesting. It reminds me a little bit of a Pilsner type crispness in the beginning, a little bit of it. Pretty pleasant all the way throughout. Like a honey biscuit is kind of the flavoring I kind of get in the middle. Then at the end, you kind of get the hops that kind of kick back in. Really, really pleasant. I really like it. It's a lot lighter than you would think for a bock, but very, very pleasant. It does taste kind of Yeah, you can definitely taste a little bit more of the hops than a normal bock. It's definitely a lot lighter, but this is something I could see Germans being kind of proud of. I mean, they definitely drink it. It's yeah, it's a good beer. That's definitely a very, very solid beer. In terms of popularity of this, it got a 77 on Beeradvocate, which is, you know, kind of okay, pretty decent. You know, it got generally pretty good, favorable reviews, and I think the main things that they talk about is that you can definitely get a little bit more hops than normal on a malt style of bock, and I think they say it's mostly a tasty beer without the wow factor. That was kind of one comment I saw on Beeradvocate that kind of sticks with me with this. Yeah, you're not really wowed by it, but it's tasty. It's good. So with that, pragmatically, I would say that there's a couple other Maibocks out there that are pretty good. I know the Hofbrau Maibock. I've had it in Germany at the Hofbrau house in Munich, and It's, I think, a little bit better quality than this, but at $7.49 for a 6-pack, I think the value is definitely there here. And then Rogue has a Dead Guy Ale, which got an 89 on Beeradvocate. For really good things about it, haven't had it yet. And Eininger out of Germany also has a really good Maibock. But pragmatically speaking, this seems like a beer to me that I would love to have at a sports bar. Tasty, no real wow. It's not like Old Rasputin, or it's not Sculpin, or it's not a beer that I would rush to go tell people, like, you have to go try this. But this is definitely a very approachable, lighter style Bock. This is something I'd probably give to my wife and say, hey, you want to try a different beer? You know, it's kind of like Guinness Blonde Ale. Yeah, it's really solid though. Yeah, you definitely get the hops there at the end, but very, very subtle amount of hops at the end. Very, very, I think it's different style on a Bock. I really do like it though. This is definitely something I can kind of drink at a sports bar with the buddies, down a couple of them. They can be dangerous, 7%, they can be dangerous, but it's definitely a beer that's, it's light that way. I think it would go really good with fried food, ham particularly. Ham and pineapple, I think, could go pretty decent with this. I keep thinking kind of a spicier Asian food would go really good with this. The hops with that kind of maltiness, I think, would actually complement it really well. And so with that, I would definitely tell you guys to try the Gordon Biersch Blonde Bock. This is one that's really, really solid beer. If I had to give it a grade, I'd probably give it, for the price tag, I'd probably actually give this like an 84. I think Beeradvocate's a little wrong on this. I'd probably give this a solid B, 84. Just because at the price point, this is definitely a beer I could see buying a 6-pack of, keeping in the fridge and drinking it with a lot of decent meals. You know, even like pasta and Italian food, this could go good with. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 84. I could see buying a 6er, maybe not all the time, but definitely there are times when this could be a good one. So with that, giddy up.